Hey, it's Drybear. We have a cool Witcher-themed collaboration coming to Lost Ark, and it's advertised to include characters like Geralt and Ciri with special cosmetics and many more for characters in Lost Ark. So today I'm going to run through all of the content that was released in Korea when this collaboration originally started. I don't think there's anyone that has been showing off the actual items themselves, but there's going to be a lot more because there's concept art included in the Western Lost Ark announcement that wasn't included in the original Witcher event for KR Lost Ark. As always, if you have any questions or comments for me, you'll find me live every day on twitch.tv/Drybear. Come by and say hi. Let's begin by looking at the actual announcement that they gave from AGS, Amazon Game Studios, for us for Western Lost Ark. That includes some hints at what might be also added. And then we'll look at these core skins, Geralt and Ciri, for all classes and subclasses in Lost Ark that was in the original version, plus the concept art below. So on this announcement, you can see that we have this Ciri outfit, base Ciri and base Geralt from the Witcher 3 game, the way they are portrayed in that game. And it includes weapon sets and skins. Now, the majority of what was seen in KR was these two characters. All of the male characters in the game, all the male classes, like Gunner and Warrior, ended up getting the Geralt presentation, and all the female classes ended up getting the Ciri presentation, and there was a weapon set for every class in the game. So they're announcing this, and it was announced to be January, which means we're in January now. Within the next week or two, I expect we will be getting more details on how this event will work. However, since they mentioned this has arrived in the Korean version, they also mentioned some extra things in here that didn't exist before. So first of all, this is just going to be an island event. You go to the island event just like any other special event that has existed in Lost Ark. You go there, you do quests. I'm sure it's daily quests, possibly weekly quests, event quests that are there, and you'll unlock new cosmetics and options for your characters. In Korea, the skins themselves, these up here, were for royal crystals only. And it's very likely that these will be tradable, but they were for royal crystals only. I doubt you'll be able to get them through the island itself. However, they have mentioned that there will be new character customization scars, so ways that you can make them look like these characters even closer by modifying the appearance of your character using these unlocked scars, cards, stronghold structures, and emojis. Like the Legion Commander emojis that you have already, there will be Witcher-themed ones. However, they also included this image in the announcement, which has, Triss, it has the Bard, it has extra characters in here that weren't in the original, which is super cool. I think, for me, I'm excited to get the Ciri presentation for my Reaper. I feel like it fits perfectly, the single sword, that sort of thing. But for my mages, I'd much rather have these other options here to try and like show more of a magic, like a Yen or a Triss or something that fits that aesthetic, at least in my head, to get some more skinergy going. But this is concept art. This is not models. This isn't actually created because obviously these models were created for Korea. This is 3D. So they were able to use this from the original, but down here they have concept art for new characters and new options. And there's going to be emojis and extra things to collect. So get excited, I guess, because it's going to be super cool. We have other options that they didn't have in the original event. Now, one thing I do want to stress is this note that we got from Rox on the official forums. And based on the way this is worded from the community manager, it does seem like this is going to be a time-limited option and then never available again. Based on the way she's worded here, unfortunately, though, in the case of the Witcher collab skin, it's not something we will be able to bring back in the future as of current plans. So it's very likely that this will be available for a certain time and then gone. It won't be in the store. It won't make any returns. You won't be able to get it. It's probably part of the licensing contract that they have. And it's possible that they'll be tradable, but it's also possible that they won't be. So just be aware that these cosmetics, if you love Witcher and you love Lost Ark, these won't be available forever. So if you want to, even if you're kind of dabbling, you may want to pick them up. So what we can do is watch their initial trailer video. This is the content that's already made. It was made in Korea and is made available. As I mentioned, all the male characters and male classes had the Geralt skin, and then all of the female had Ciri. But this was already made and created and coming forward. And I'm curious to see how, if they end up doing the extra characters, what those will look like in game. You can see him animating. I think it looks great. It matches really well. I would love to have an assassin Ciri. And I actually personally think that the paladin Geralt would line up well. You can see a striker there. So your male martial artist, female martial artist, mage, warrior, assassin, gunner. They all have these skins available. And they also have different hairstyles and options. You even have a special hat that you can put on that gives unique hairstyles as well. There's the destroyer weapon, there's a sharpshooter, there's a death blade. So you have all these different options available. And it does come with a wallpaper as well. There's Soulfist, you can see the Soulfist focus floating above her right there. And then you have the extra mages, there's Glavier, so it's super cool. Now, you do see Aeromancer and Artist. These aren't gonna be available for us, so they're not gonna be available for the skin set. But this is what they showed for Korea, and this is how it will look in-game if you pick up the skins that are available for this set, which overall looks pretty cool. I mean, like I said, if you are someone who is a fan of Witcher, of that IP, and you want to have it in Lost Ark, I think they did a great job bringing it to light. They didn't do anything super major. They kind of took the iconic outfits of the two characters and brought them in. So this is Warrior, obviously with a bigger build. Then you have Martial Artist Male, so Striker would have this option for him. Looks pretty great for Geralt. Geralt does box if he needs to. Martial Arts Female, so all of your Martial Arts females. War Dancer, Scrapper, Glavier, all of those would fit with Ciri. Hunter Male, this is your Gunner. So Gunners like Sharpshooter, Deadeye would all be able to have this option. And then you could have obviously your Gunslinger, which looks pretty great on that too. We'll look at the weapons in a second so you can see what those would look like. And then obviously you have Mage, so all of your Mage classes, Arcanist, Summoner, Sorceress, and Bard can all fit with the Ciri skin. And of course you have Assassin, which personally my favorite. I feel like it fits it perfectly well. And then we wouldn't have a Specialist in the game, but this is what it would look like if we did. And then we can go on to weapons. So they had this listed. Remember, there's a 10x multiplier on the Royal Crystals in Korea. So if the prices stayed the same, this would be 700. It probably won't. The whole pack in Korea was 31,000, so it'll be 3150 in our game. But you know, all of those prices can change. Just expect that. So this is what the weapons look like in the game. Destroyer's got like that Witcher crest, the amulet crest on either side of the hammer. The Gunlancer has this really cool kind of medieval ancient style lance with the crest on the shield. Berserker has this big thin sword. I almost wish this was bigger, but none of the swords that Witchers carry are all like super wide, super heavy, you know, guts kind of weapon. The Paladin one I think looks great. Here's the Striker. It's like this kind of fisted spear impaling glove weapon. Super cool. War Dancer is the same. Scrapper is kind of medium sized with the crest on the bottom near the outside of the hand. Then you have this Incense user for Soulfist, which is pretty cool. And then the Glavier one is a pretty straightforward spear, but it does have that same kind of aesthetic. On to the Hunters. You have Deadeye. It has the two, as the little hand crossbow, the bigger crossbow, and then a big long rifle. The Artillerist one is super detailed, engraved, and embellished. All the little fixins there. Sharpshooter has the same kind of treatment, but with, you know, wood near the bow. This is a Scouter SMG. And then the Gunslinger weapon set looks just like the Deadeye one, as it usually does. Then you have Bard, which has a crest on the top with this nice metal finish coming around the side. Summoner has the big staff. Arcana, or Arcanist, has kind of like this wrist weapon with like this almost like a star pattern, cardinal pattern here with the crest in the middle. And then Sorceress, as usually is a little bit bigger than the Summoner weapon and has this nice red gem in the middle of it. And then you have Blade. Death Blade has the two weapons here. This is the long sword on her back. This is the two short swords that she has in her hand. The Shadow Hunter here has the longer glaives. And then Reaper has the single weapon. And this is the class that won't be in the game before we see it. Finally is the wallpaper. So if we can zoom in on this a little bit, this is the wallpaper that comes in the pack. And this was, it's basically the Witcher compound, the training compound, where Ciri first left in Witcher 3. So you get that in the background, you get the roots in the front with the trees. You even have this kind of like little squat area. And if you end up getting more than just Ciri and Geralt, you could essentially have not only a full cast of Witcher characters, but you can even have them sitting in front of the training compound, all dressed and ready to go and set up. Which brings us back to this original concept drawing that they had. So obviously they announced it. They said that they're doing more content for this than the original promotion collaboration actually had, which is super cool. I would love to have a yen for my casters, my mages. I think that's super cool. I'm sure there's people that really like to have Triss and other characters in there. So we'll see what comes along with it. Plus emojis. It would be super cool to have animated emojis for Witcher characters. You know, Geralt thumbing something down, or Yen like snarling or something like that. Super cool. And they said cards as well. So maybe there's a new card pack, extra pieces there. But that is the Witcher event. It should be really soon. They said January. Now, knowing them, it could be January 31st, or January 30th, whatever it is. It's still this month. In the next couple of weeks, we'll be seeing this. So I'm eager to find out exactly what the new content will be that they added in for that. Let me know what you think, what you're looking forward to, and what class you think fits these skins the best in your roster. What's the first skin, if you're planning to get them, what's the first skin you're going to get? And how are you going to live out your own Witcher fantasy? As always, if you have any questions or comments for me, you'll find me live every day on twitch.tv/Drybear. Come by and say hi. If you enjoyed yourself today, leave a like down below. You can support me and my work on Patreon and view Patreon exclusive content, link in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.